everyone. I'm Erica Bottger, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
And I'm Caitlyn. I'm AccuQuilt's product development specialist.
And we are here to introduce a new AccuQuilt video series called Let's Go Sew, Sewing for Beginners. Now we're going to be teaching the basics of sewing from the tools you need to a finished project and everything in between. And by the end of the series, you're going to have a finished project. All right, so let's get started. The first thing is to download our list of supplies that you're going to need. Make sure you have everything listed, and we'll be going over those in the first episode. Now, we understand that a new hobby can be expensive, so we only put the essentials on that list. And the first thing is, of course, Caitlyn,
our sewing machine.
If you don't have access to a sewing machine, we've got some suggestions for you. So where could they go, Caitlyn?
You could ask a friend or a relative if you could possibly buy or use one of their own machines.
Sure.
You could also go to a local store to see if they have any machine rentals.
Okay.
You could check online for any secondhand machines that you could possibly buy. Or there is some main brands out there that have a lower and cost-effective sewing machine you can buy for new.
And sometimes your local dealer will even have trade-ins that they've refurbished, so that's another good option. So they usually come with everything that you need to get started sewing, but there may be some that don't. Either way, you want to make sure you've got a bobbin, a standard presser foot, machine needles, and thread. And of course, your local quilt store can help you with that. Check the supply list for the specifics. Each sewing machine is different, so we won't be covering every single model, but we will cover a few basic functions that all sewing machines have in common. And Caitlyn, you've got a pro tip for them.
Yes, each machine comes with a manual, and you should read that cover to cover for all the functions you'll need.
That's right. Now you can get the rest of the items on the list from your favorite craft or sewing store. You will also need to get the materials for your project. We'll be making the June Taylor 2.5-inch strip mug mat Quilt As You Go kit. You'll need to get the kit, which has printed batting for 3 different mats and instructions. Now fabric isn't included, so you'll need to buy some of that too. The fabric requirements for this project are listed back in your supply list, right?
Correct.
And we will be working with 100% cotton or quilting fabrics. Now this type of fabric is the easiest for beginners to work with. If you're buying online, most fabric sites have a fabric type filter in which they have a category for cotton or quilting fabric. If you're buying from a store and unsure about the right fabric, ask somebody to help you and point you towards the correct fabric. Also, as a beginner, you've got another pro tip, right, Caitlyn?
Correct. Patterns are printed on fabric either directionally or non-directionally. You will want to start with a non-directional fabric so that you don't have to worry about lining up any like stripes or other patterns for cutting purposes.
That's right. And I love a good plaid, but this probably isn't the time to start with that. Now, if you're not sure what fabrics look best together, start by picking maybe from a collection of fabrics to ensure that those will coordinate well. The project we're making does work with fat quarter pre-cuts, which is, can you describe fat quarters a little bit?
Yes, they're an 18 by 22 piece of fabric, and they're generally cut, so you cut a whole half yard and then cut them in half to make the 18 by 22.
And you're going to find in most quilt shops, you're going to find an assortment of those already cut for you to kind of sift through and put together the ones that you like.
And you'll need about 4 different variations, so look for a bundle that has 4 different fabrics.
Okay, or put together your own little bundle. And then you'll also need to pick up yardage for the backing, right?
Correct.
Okay. To help you in your search for fabric, we've given you a list of our fabric sponsors. It's in the supply list for you, and that can help you as well. Well, we have all of our supplies, so we're going to let you go gather yours. We can't wait to start sewing with all of you. We'll see you in the next episode where we'll be going over all those tools and supplies.
Happy sewing!